prisoners were taken and put into prisons or concentration camps or whatever you want to call them, but they were treated with certain humanity.
What's the point of closing it whenever they have the ability to move the base somewhere else where we can't keep an eye on it? At least where it's at now, you can keep an eye on it.
It should either be closed or it should be converted into something that's more fair and more safe and more provides better rights to the prisoners.
Law governed it. This is a totally different situation now. You have combatants who are not in uniform. They don't represent a country, but they represent these shadowy, very destructive terrorist groups like Al-Qaeda and Hamas and Hezbollah.
The United States should have a presence down in Cuba, just to, be on a lookout for anything that could possibly happen, and perhaps it could even help relations with Cuba.
That if we could establish peaceful relations with the government in Cuba, then Guantanamo actually could serve an important purpose.
They're not American citizens, so I don't think they should be tried as American citizens.
I don't think they should be tried as American citizens, and they should probably be tried as war criminals, but only if they can absolutely prove that, that they've done something.
I do, because in the U.S. we provide people that are accused of crimes with what's called criminal rights, civil rights, and people are presumed to be innocent unless you can prove that they're guilty. And I think that every person deserves to have the same rights, whether they're Americans or not Americans. If we're going to be the ones that are ultimately punishing them or detaining them, I think we have to provide them with those rights.
I think the prisoners should have an opportunity to have their day in court, and I think that there's a pretty clear precedent about our country's handling of prisoners of war.
No.
Why?
If you have proof that you are associated with terrorism, then by all means you should not be tried as an American citizen. You should be tried as a military tribunal, which gives the military more opportunities and more ways to extract information out of a person. No, because we're given into, for lack of a better term, peer pressure from a lot of people that we shouldn't be given into. Guantanamo, it served a purpose. Whether people liked it or not, it served a purpose. And if we close it down just because people are upset with how it was ran or things that were done there, whether they're justified or not, we're sacrificing safety for the United States, and I don't think we should do that.
Thank you.
But if there is a way to restructure Guantanamo so that it's a place that where prisoners are afforded to have legal representation and fair process, then we should do that.
I don't think that we could do the same thing there, because it's already on what's considered United States territory, so we couldn't really give it to anybody and let them take control over it. But I think if if they got better publicity and cleaned it up and showed the American people that bad things weren't happening there, then I think they could leave it open that way.
Like I said, Guantanamo in the first place was to sort of keep them away from the eyes and ears of the American public and keep them away from due process rights that they might have if they're being held and tried on United States soil. So, no, I would not be in favor of keeping Guantanamo open under those conditions.